Assem, thanks very much for joining us from Berlin. What are some of the key themes you expect to see in 2021?
The key themes correspond to what we in Berlin Hyp really put forward for quite a while, which is digitalisation, going to maybe smart cities, smart buildings. That's one part. And the other part is the ESG issue, that we will have no other choice than to integrate that into our economy. And strangely enough, and to be honest, Richard, I cannot really explain why, the ESG issue has popped up quite significantly right in this COVID times, where I would have expected that a lot of people would say, okay, I have some fundamental issues here. I don't leave me alone with ESG for the time being. Yeah, but the contrary is actually true. We see a lot of companies, a lot of corporates coming up with ESG compliant bonds. We ourselves, we continue to write our ESG agenda and to complete our objectives. And I think that the change in the White House will really give us a new impetus in that sense, that there is a willingness of the American government to step back into the international community towards climate control. So that's going to be the two issues, which will drive to a factor which I personally think will be more and more important, is that the living and working spaces have to be worthwhile, have to be sustainable, and will put, hopefully, it's maybe a idealist thought, but I would hope that it will put the human being and our environment back into the focus.
And that's interesting. And do you think that's going to be one of the key drivers for both investors, but also for the banks and financing side, in terms of the types of assets that they'll be financing?
I would expect it's going to be a slow development. First of all, in an economic environment that we see these days, the cost-cutting voices are very strong in corporates. So I would expect that demand for office space will decrease, and we see that these days. I'm not telling anything surprising here. But once the decision has made that new spaces have to be leased or bought, then I think corporates will put an accent on the fact that we have to offer spaces that are worthwhile coming to the office. I think when it comes to industries like the financing industries, we all realize that the home office is a very nice complementary offer that we can offer our employees. But at one point, the face-to-face contact in committees or in working groups, in physical contact, is such an important element that we need that to maintain our productivity.
It should be a really interesting year, I think, 2021. Certainly, everybody's looking forward to a change, I think. Thanks very much for joining us, Assem.
With great pleasure. Thank you very, very much, Richard.